All right. We should be live here on YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Thanks so much for being here. Always really look forward to doing these Sunday live streams here. I'm here on YouTube every week, Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I go live here on YouTube as long as I'm here in town in Nashville. And just always really look forward to doing these. And thank you guys so much for being here and joining up today's live stream. Always really appreciate this. And looks like we've already got a couple comments here from 1002 Northeast. Let's see here. The first one here is a good afternoon to you, Mr. Meyers. Any relation to the speaker manufacturer? Hey, I thought you did this at 11 a.m. Yeah, this 11 a.m. Central Standard Time I'm on here in Nashville. But no relation to the speaker manufacturer. I'm actually not familiar with those speakers. I'd be curious what those speakers are actually. But let's see. And then he says, usually at 11 a.m. Yeah. So this live stream, as I was just saying, every week, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be going live. It just depends if I'm out on the road or if I'm traveling. Obviously, it's very hard to do this, and I just wouldn't be able to do it without my setup and just having the time and the space to actually do the live streams. But if I'm here in town in my studio, I am here 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, that is. So here in Nashville, it often gets confused. Sometimes folks think that we're on Eastern Time, but we are on Central Standard Time. So here in this part of Tennessee, here in Nashville. Let's see, I missed the Central Time. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, that's common. A lot of people get confused on that for sure. But welcome, everybody, to the live stream. Really appreciate everybody being here as always. Feel free to ask any questions you want in the chat box there. The only questions that I stay away from are anything like really technical or really advanced on guitar, just because I want to save that for my students. I teach one-on-one online lessons here, and I just want to save that and be respectful to those that hire me to teach them. I really do appreciate any and all questions, but I just want to save that and be respectful to my students that are hiring me and paying me to teach them. So there's that, but really just about any other question goes. So feel free to drop it there in the chat box there, and I'd be happy to answer. Always love doing these as well, folks. I love connecting with everybody here on YouTube. This is just a really beautiful way to connect with all the fans and the subscribers here. So come on back and join us. You know, as I was saying earlier, every week, every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I am going to be live here on YouTube as long as I'm here in town, like I was saying, and would love to connect with you guys and answer your questions for sure. Let's see. 1002 Northeast, you may remember me asking a whole, I forgot to finish that off there, but I do remember your questions that you left on the comment section there. But if you could just remind me what those questions were. I remember you were trying to implement some pedals in with a rack setup, but just if you could just remind me exactly what the setup was there, I'd be happy to help you out with that. But let's see here. We got CZ in the house. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. You're the best. Last night the show ran late. Are you going to be in anywhere in Nashville tonight? Maybe. You know, I don't have any plans right now, but yeah. I mean, I'm probably go out and do something. Maybe see what we get into here after this live stream. But yeah, if you're still in town, just send me an email for sure, and maybe get together or something. That'd be cool. But thanks again, folks, for being here. Really appreciate it, as always. For those that are just joining us, thank you for being here. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat box there. Be happy to answer any and all questions. Always really look forward to doing these, as I was saying earlier. You know, this is just a really, really cool thing here. And just really appreciate everybody's support here on this channel. Channel's been growing like crazy, which I'm really excited about. My latest videos have been doing well. I posted this pedal board video, which is pretty cool. I actually have the setup here for those that haven't seen the video yet. But it's pretty cool little setup here. It's a little Pedal Train Nano Plus. This is a really fun little throw and go travel pedal board that I really like to use. Normally for me with these pedal boards, I like to have two different pedal boards. One that's a full featured pedal board that's very versatile and can really do a lot of different things. And then I like to have one here that's like a throw and go style pedal board where, I just don't sometimes need all of these effects and all these pedals. And something like this will just work great for me. So I have these three pedals here. These are within the effects loop of this HX1. So it's pretty slick here. It's pretty cool. These three pedals you can actually reorder within the signal flow of this HX1. So for example, if I wanted a phase 90 sound off of this HX1, I could position it to be pre-drive, which is how I prefer a phase 90 to sound. I prefer it to be in that part of the signal flow. With it being pre-drive, I think it sounds better than post-drive. So that's what's really cool with this HX1 is you can reposition where this effects loop, quote unquote, is within this HX1. So if I wanted to program up here a reverse delay, well, I would want that to be post-drive because it just sounds better post-drive to my ear and just in my opinion. Now, there's really no right or wrong way to position these effects. It's all about whatever it is that you like, but this is just what I like. I like a phase pre-drive and I like a delay to be after the drive. So that's what's just really handy with this HX1 is that you can reposition this quote-unquote effects loop, which would be these three pedals here. So it's all just chained one into the next, right? So I have the RC boost, then the light speed, then the Boss GE7, and then these three here are just all within this loop of this HX1. So it's a really cool setup, and I'm really digging it. I'm really liking it a lot. So that video is doing really well. For those that have not seen this setup, here it is here. Pretty cool. Pedal Train Nano Plus. And it's just all powered by a True Tone CS6 that's mounted underneath here. So I just wired it all up and, it just works and really sounds great. So let's see. So yeah, there's that there. Let's see. Yes, sounds good. I'll be here till tomorrow afternoon. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. Let's see. 1002 Northeast. Hi, TY. How do I use mono pedals and stereo rack gear in tandem? And if pedals will typically accept balanced TRS cables? Well, I remember you were asking that question about how to implement the pedals within a rack system so that you could get the rack and the pedals to all be switchable. And with that, what you want to do is you want to get all of the units working together. So you want to have the rack pieces controllable by MIDI. So you have to get the MIDI talking to one another. And then for your pedals, if you wanted them to be within the actual rack where you have your rack gear, you have to get this thing that RJM makes, and it's called an effects gizmo, where what it is that you route these pedals into individual loops. So now with this effects gizmo, you can now switch these pedals in and out, these loops in and out, with an actual MIDI controller. So it just takes the pedals and puts them into individual loops, and then you can actually control each individual loop by a MIDI controller. So check out RJM. They make really good stuff for that kind of switching stuff. That's something just for myself that I try to stay away from, to be honest. Just for me right now, that is, just because I like to have a pedal board just in front of me and just to be able to switch pedals in and out. It just works a lot better for me just to have the stuff all right there. But I could see for a lot of people how that the MIDI switching really is convenient and really simple and really nice. Just to be able to have the pedals all within the rack. You can switch them in and out, but to each their own, But yeah, RJM makes really, really good stuff. But once again, how do I utilize mono pedals and stereo rack gear in tandem? Yeah, it just depends on what pedals too that you're using. I'd have to see the setup. So, but just to address that other question that you had for me on the previous video. But yeah, thank you folks for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's see, we got some more people joining up here. Really appreciate it as always. And once again, folks, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask away there in the chat box there. Be happy to answer any and all questions. As I was saying earlier, I try to stay away from any kind of advanced technical guitar questions just because I save that for my one-on-one students. And I should go ahead and just take the time to talk about my one-on-one lessons, folks. I'm teaching people from all over the world, and this setup that you are hearing and that you are seeing here is all the exact setup that I use for my lessons. It's all shot in a 4K definition camera. It's all pro video and pro audio. And what's so cool with these lessons is that you actually get a recorded copy of the lesson themselves at the end of the lesson. So you could always go back and keep, rewatching it. You can download the video and you could keep learning from the lesson. I really give out a lot of different concepts within these lessons, and I'm just so happy with the platform. I think it just works incredibly well. So hit me up at jkm4231@gmail.com today. Take your guitar playing, your musicianship to the next level. These lessons are really amazing. And also, I have several other links that are linked down below in the description box. I'm a Sweetwater affiliate partner. So go and check out my top picks from Sweetwater Music. They have absolutely amazing gear, and Sweetwater is just an amazing retailer. So go and check that out. And I have some original music as well that's linked down below there. They're actually YouTube intros that I've written here on my YouTube. And I just put them all within just audio files because I had a lot of people asking me to just make the music available for purchase because they love my intros so much. So go and check that out. That's on bandcamp.com. I've got a bunch of music up there. And I've got a Venmo and PayPal tip jar as well. So if you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream, these live streams are truly a donation of time. So any and all support is really appreciated. If you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys would like to support me, there's a Venmo and PayPal tip jar that's linked down below there as well. Or feel free to send a super chat here on today's live stream on YouTube. Any and all support is really appreciated as always. Let's see. 1002 Northeast says TY Justin. Thank you. Let's see. We got Mike in the house. Hey, Mike, how's it going? For fly dates, how do you travel with guitars? Good question. Really good question. It's tricky, man. It really is tricky. For me, normally, I try to just carry on the guitar. It's just kind of difficult because here in Nashville, they got new security systems now. So actually, all of the TSA people have to actually hand inspect the instruments now because they will not fit within the actual security system now that they have there for backpacks and luggage and stuff like this. So you have to actually hand them your instrument. So it's always a little bit nerve-wracking just because you don't know how they're going to handle the instrument. But it's one of those things you just have to trust the process and just do it and just let them inspect it. And I've had good luck with it. I've never had any issues. But I do have a set of guitars that I fly with that if something were to happen to them, I would be devastated and really pissed off. But it's not the end of the world. It's not like my 69 Les Paul Custom or my 60 TV Yellow Les Paul Special or something like this that's really valuable and, really means a lot to me, So I just have a spare set of guitars that I travel with where if something were to happen, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I normally do try to carry them on, and normally I fly Southwest. So right now with the open boarding, now I know that they are changing that now starting next year. So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But normally in the past with the open boarding where you just board by your number, and when you check in 24 hours before your flight, they give you like a boarding number. So what works is it's just open seating once you get on the plane itself. So I just try to find like any overhead compartment that has just all of the space within that compartment. And then I'll just set the guitars up there. And, I just set it there. And then I normally travel with a backpack as well. And that'll fit just underneath in the seat in front of me there. So that's normally how I travel there. And then, or maybe I'll bring a little carry-on suitcase, something like this, with my guitar as well. If it's just a quick, one-off or 2 nights, something like this. But if we're out for a little bit longer, then you have to check something. So it just is what it is. That said, it's really tricky with traveling with guitars because I would love actually to check the guitar and put it in an I-Series SKB case, which I have a few of those, and they're like military-grade cases. But I have had in the past, and it's difficult with flying because it's all about who you get. Depending on the person you're dealing with, the policy changes I've experienced. So with the SKB I series case, it is a military grade case, which is a really amazing case for a guitar. I mean, it's just an incredible, the best of the best case besides Colton. Colton makes a really amazing case as well. But that I series case, it is technically quote unquote oversized by about 4 inches. So their policy there is that in total, it cannot exceed 62 inches by adding up all of the dimensions on this case. So with that case, it's like 4 to 5 inches over 62 inches. I forget exactly what the measurement is on that thing off the top of my head. But, normally leaving Nashville, it's not an issue because they see those cases all the time. But once again, it depends on who you get. But normally I've run into problems where I'm in the other city that we're playing in, and then we're leaving to come back to Nashville, and then they'll want to charge oversized, which that really sucks because, I mean, it's like $75 or $125, something like this. Off the top of my head, it's been so long since I've had an oversized charge, because I just completely avoid checking guitars now at like literally every time I fly out for gigs. But it just really sucks, man, when you have to pay that, and that comes out of your check, So I just honestly carry on the instruments. I have a spare set of guitars that they just work fine. And if anything were to happen where I did have to put it under the plane for whatever reason, because there wasn't space overhead, it just is what it is, And honestly, I would much rather actually just backline the instrument. That would be a lot better. But a lot of the time, that's just not the case with these artists. So, you just got to bring your own stuff. So, yeah, definitely tricky, though. Good question, Mike, for sure. Let's see. Brett Lee Dimer's in the house. Hey, Brett, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Hey, mate, just tuned in from Perth, Western Australia. Wow, man, so cool. I just want to say I love your playing and the channel. Thanks so much, Brett. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot to me. And thank you for the support. That really means a lot to me. That's really cool to feel that love, man. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Let's see. 1002 Northeast says, I'll check out that RJM Effects gizmo. Next question, if that's okay with you. What do you guys like to use for triggering MIDI? Mainstage or something else? I'm not familiar with Mainstage, but RJM makes a MIDI switcher that is called the Mastermind, it's called. And that to me seems like if you were to go that MIDI switching route with an actual controller, the RJM seems like it's the way to go. It seems like it's just incredible. They've really thought out everything. And so I would really just recommend, just check them out, RJ Music. They make some incredible stuff for all of that kind of MIDI switching stuff. I think they are the best on the market right now for sure. So yeah, RJM Music, the Effects Gizmo is the one that you want to check out for your pedals. So you just have to sit down and figure out what your chain is going to be, what your order is going to be with those pedals. But each individual pedal has its own loop. So that's how it works, is that the MIDI command triggers the effects loop, right? The particular loop that you want to activate, and then that'll activate your pedal. So you just leave your pedals on all the time. So every single pedal in your rack will always be turned on, and then, your Mastermind controller now controls your loops that are on the effects gizmo. But you have to get all of your gear talking the same MIDI, where it's like, okay, you're controlling the effects gizmo, you're controlling the rack stuff. So whatever the rack stuff is that you're using, you just have to get the MIDI to all work together. From your Mastermind controller, if that's what you were to use. But Mainstage, I'm not familiar with. I'm not sure with that stuff. So, let's see. Tom's in the house. Hey, Tom, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Do you do any recording at home? If so, which DAW do you use? I know Pro Tools is the standard, but it seems so complicated to me. I'm not that smart. Yeah, man. I use Logic Pro. And I just find it's really easy to use. I've been using it for years now at this point, so I know it pretty well. And so, yeah, I mean, I love Logic. It works great. And I just have a little home studio here in my house. It's just my upstairs loft. Actually, it's a spare little loft. And, yeah, I just kind of turned it into this really cool creative space where I just have all of my favorite gear just all in one place here. And, I use this stuff all the time, and it's just really inspiring to play all of this different stuff. I can pretty much get just about any kind of guitar tone that I want up here, whether it's a real high gain, detuned kind of guitar sound, to country chicken picking sound, to Marshall Plexi turned up kind of sound, AC/DC kind of thing, which is kind of more my world for sure. I love playing a Plexi and cranking it up, and then just recording that, double micing it normally is how I go with that. And then, I just use Logic Pro to record all that. So it's pretty simple. It's with any DAW, there's a learning curve, obviously. So you have to, be able to learn the commands and just figure out the workflow of it, whether it's Pro Tools or Logic. So that takes a little bit of time, but, it's just like anything. It just takes time to practice it and just get better at it. And so for me, I've been using Logic Pro for years now, so I know that pretty well. Where with Pro Tools, I'm not really too familiar with using it myself. I, of course, know of Pro Tools, though, for sure. So let's see. CZ says here, could you see Tom handing that $300,000 gold top over to TSA? Oh, man, yeah. There's no way. I couldn't. I couldn't imagine that. I mean, that would just be crazy. And it is kind of crazy how here in Nashville, I don't think there was very much thinking that went into that with those new machines, because, there's so many musicians that are flying out for gigs all the time here in Nashville. It's just kind of silly when you have to actually hand the instrument over to the TSA guard. It's just, it's nerve-wracking for sure. So, but it just is what it is, But yeah, there's no way, traveling with a vintage gold top or something, that's got to be so nerve-wracking. Dave Guitar was there at the gig last night, and Kenny Wayne Shepherd played. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Kenny's great. He's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, definitely wish I could have been there. That would have been cool. Let's see. Sorry, talk to text. Yeah, all good. No problem. Let's see. Ben's in the house. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. My man, Justin, hope you're well. Yeah, man, doing all right. Just doing my thing, keeping busy, getting ready to get back out on the road here in September. So I'll be back out September and October for those 2 months, just doing Weekend Warrior stuff. But it'll be fun, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Just doing my YouTube stuff, just posting more videos. The channel's growing, so I'm really happy with that. So, yeah. All is good in the hood. Appreciate it, Ben. Tom says here, speakers in a basement. No, I just have all of my cabinets up here. I just have a open loft up here, and I'll just double mic it. My room is not treated or anything, but I think I can get some really good results actually up here. I love the way that it sounds up here. It's just awesome. And I think these YouTube intros, the guitar tones on these intros are just incredible. I really, really stand behind them. I'm really excited about the way that this stuff sounds. And, I'm really particular with the way that this stuff sounds and the way that I'm presenting myself here on YouTube. I really want it to be professional, and even with my one-on-one lessons, with my live streams here, I really want it to look good, and I want it to sound good. I'm a quality snob, I will admit. I'm definitely a quality snob, but I just really want it to be good. And I want people to really enjoy the guitar playing, the guitar tones. And for my students that I teach, I really want to put out a really solid product. I don't want to just film it on an iPhone where it's got shaky video and shaky audio and stuff. I really want it to be professional. People spend their hard-earned money, supporting me and wanting to learn from me on guitar and learn about music and about the business and stuff. And I do these consultations, these one-on-ones all the time. And, man, it's just I'm a quality snob, and I really want it to be done right. I really want to stand behind the stuff that I put out there. So I, again, really feel that these guitar tones that I have here on YouTube, the one-on-one lessons that I do, it's very, very professional, and it's very good quality stuff. I just would not feel good about it if it wasn't good quality. So, but yeah, these speakers are just up here in my studio, and I'm really happy with the tones I get up here. So, Let's see, 1002 Northeast, and I just got a Venmo notification. Let's see. Man, thanks so much for the Venmo tip, Orson. Really appreciate that. Sound effects. Thank you, Orson. Really appreciate that. Really means a lot to me. And once again, folks, if you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar or a super chat here on YouTube. Any and all support is really appreciated. If you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys want to contribute to the channel here, as I was saying earlier, these live streams are a donation of time. I just do this really to connect with everybody here on YouTube and have some fun and answer y'all's questions. So any and all support is really appreciated. I offer one-on-one lessons, so hit me up at jkm4231@gmail.com if you'd like to sign up for those. And I have several other links linked down below in the description box and ways that you can support this channel. So go and check that stuff out. Now back to the question here. So let's see, is it unusual to see two cabs on a gig in Nashville? So the first question here, unusual to see two cabs. I mean, it depends on the band, depends on the situation. Yeah, I would say it's unusual. I mean, a lot of the time you're going to see a deluxe reverb up there or a Princeton, maybe a 212 cabinet, something like this. But yeah, that's kind of normally what you're going to see. Let's see. And when you double mic, explain your technique with that rear cabinet front. Yeah, sure. So with double miking, it's important to, for one, make sure that the microphones are in phase. So you got to make sure that you're positioning the microphones perfectly, and that because you don't want one mic to hear the speaker before the other mic. They should be hearing the speaker at the exact same time, and it should be in phase, right? So what I use for double miking is I use a Royer and a Shure SM57. That to me is just the tried and true combination that when I think of a great guitar sound, I think of those microphones going into a 1073 style mic preamp. So that's what I use is I use a 1073 BAE mic preamp, and I have the guitar double mic'd with a Royer and a 57. And those microphones are perfectly in phase. And normally what I do with the Royer is I get it dead center on the beam of the speaker. So like the inner circle, the smaller inner circle. And then I just have the 57, and it's all mounted actually on this thing called an axe mount, which is really cool. So you can just use one mic stand, and the mic clip just connects onto this mic stand. But this mic clip in particular holds both of the microphones. So it's really nice so that you don't have to run two separate mic stands and then try to get those microphones in phase. You just have them all right there on that mic clip, both microphones there. So it's very easy to get this stuff in phase and to set it all up. So I really love that product. You should really check that out. Axe Mount is the company. And, I paid for this stuff myself, so I don't have any kind of affiliation with them at all. But I do like their stuff for sure. But anyways, so then the 57 is already placed just to the right of the Royer. And it's just like the perfect sound, man. It really works great. So the 57 is catching just a little bit of the inner, the beam of the speaker, and just the cone, like the outside part of the speaker. And so it's just right in between the beam and the cone there. So it's right in between there, but the Royer is dead center on the speaker. Now, if you were to take your 57 and place it where the Royer should be, in my opinion, the 57 would pick up a very bright, just very gnarly guitar sound. That beam is just so bright, dead center on the speaker there. So if I were to just use a 57 just by itself, then what I would do is I would mic up just in between the beam and the outer part, the cone of the speaker. So I would try to get it right in between those two parts there, so that, because the further away that you move from the inside beam of the speaker, the more low end that you're going to get off the guitar tone. Now, mic placement is really, really, really critical in having a really great guitar sound, because depending on where you place this microphone on the speaker, it really will affect your guitar sound. If, like I was saying, if that 57 is dead center on your speaker, it's going to be really bright and just really tinny and just have no low end at all. So you really, really have to make sure that these microphones are placed right. And when you're double miking, you got to make sure that these microphones are both in phase. Really, really important. So there's that there. Let's see. Tom says here, I was referring to a cranked plexi that's mic'd. I get thrown out of my neighborhood. Yeah, I got to say, man, I'm in a neighborhood. My neighbors, I mean, knock on wood, are really cool. I've been in this area now in this particular neighborhood now for about 5 years now. And my neighbors are awesome. I mean, I'll put a plexi on 6 and, I never get any complaints or anything. So no cops showing up. Let's see. 1002 Northeast says here, do you have tinnitus? No, I don't. That's something I've always been very cautious of making sure that I'm protecting my hearing. Normally on live gigs, even if we're on wedges, or if we are on ears as well, I always wear in-ears just to protect my hearing. So even if I'm not using in-ears, like the actual system itself, I'll put in some in-ear monitors, like just the little buds, just within my ear, just so that I'm protecting my hearing from a loud-ass stage and loud wedges and stuff. I've always been very, very aware and very, cautious of protecting my hearing for sure. So don't have that, fortunately. And even with using in-ears, like the system themselves, I'll normally keep the pack down pretty low, just because I just don't need to play that loud. So. Let's see, what was the other one? How do you find the noise floor, or do you find the noise floor higher on pedals versus rack gear typically? Man, I don't really know actually. Off the top of my head, I mean, the pedals are normally pretty quiet. I mean, I've never needed like a noise gate or something like this. Unless the tone is like a really high gain kind of thing where you're really trying to get like really tight stops. But for the kind of style of music that I'm playing with kind of this low to medium gain tone, I just don't really need any kind of a gate. And the noise floor is fine. I mean, when you put this guitar in a live mix, you're not going to hear the noise. It's quiet enough. So that just works for me. But I'm not really a big rack gear guy. I try to kind of stay away from that, honestly. I just like to have a pedal board like in front of me so that, I can switch these pedals in and out and, whenever I need it. Like if I need more gain, there's a gain booster right there. If I need to adjust the setting on something, I don't have to go back to a rack or something that has shelves to hold these pedals. It's just all right there in front of me. It's all right here on a pedal board. I can tweak away and whatever kind of, tremolo I want, whatever kind of gain, however much gain I need. If I need to adjust something on the fly, it's all right here. So that's what I really like about it. And, especially like if I'm using a delay that has a tap tempo, which my delays do, it's just nice to have the tap tempo just right there in front of me. I can just tap it into the BPM of the song. Or if I need like a slapback delay, I'll just hit the tap tempo a bunch of times just to be able to get that real quick slapback delay sound. So for me, I'm just a pedal board guy. I really like that. So just my preference for sure. Let's see. Royer SM57 axe mount mic stand and 2 vintage 1073 pre's. I thought for darker sound, people would mic the backside of the speaker and put it out of phase with a button press. Yeah, there's all kinds of different ways of doing stuff. This is just the way that I do it. It just depends, if you're miking up an open back cabinet or an open back combo, then that is a way you can mic the backside there. But, for me, a lot of my stuff is closed back, so I just double mic up a speaker and, it's just the Royer and a 57 together going into a dual 1073 mic pre, so. And, for me, my whole approach with recording guitars, I try to get the best tone I can get just right from the source, man, right from the amplifier, just the tone in general. I really want it to be good within the room itself. If you have a crappy tone to begin with, it's a bad source to begin with. It doesn't really matter what microphones or what gear that you're using. If you just have a garbage source to begin with, it's just not going to sound good. It doesn't matter. So for me, it's all about first dialing in just a great guitar sound to begin with, and then just accurately capturing that sound, double miking it with the 1073 pre's, and that's that. So, but it's all about the source with recording, and having a great guitar sound, being a great guitar player, just being able to really play it. And again, it's all about that source. So it's crucial. Doesn't matter what gear you have. If the source is not good, then it's not good. Let's see. Keith's in the house. Hey, Keith, how's it going? Morning, Justin. When recording with Logic, or any DAW for that matter, have you ever dealt with latency while recording? If so, how do you deal with that? Nah, man, I don't deal with any latency at all. I have it set up where there's no latency. The UA Apollo stuff I absolutely love. It tracks really, really well. That's why I just have stuck it out with the UA stuff. I think it's incredible. It's, in my opinion, one of the best audio interfaces on the market, in my opinion. And, I just recently actually upgraded my system. I had the version previous to this one, and it was on a Thunderbolt connection, where now I have this new system now where it's all USB-C. So I upgraded to the latest version of it, and they had a really good sale going on, actually, where it was a bundle with all of the plugins. It was like UAD Ultimate and the Apollo Twin. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to splurge on this. And yeah, I ended up getting that. And the plugins are amazing. The interface is incredible. It just works so well. I'm so happy with it. So it's just great. But yeah, no latency. So I just really swear by this Apollo stuff, man. It's awesome. But especially nowadays, also speaking of latency, I mean, the computers are so good now. I mean, the technology is so good. I mean, I think, back in the day, maybe like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, something like this, the technology was nowhere near as good as it is now. I mean, the stuff is incredible now. It's absolutely amazing how well the stuff works. So, back in the day, I definitely remember doing that. But let's see. I remember dealing with latency a ton back. That's funny. No. Back in the day, yeah, totally. When I was in college in the early 2000s. That's cool. Yeah, no, definitely. I hear you, man. That's what I was just saying too. Yep. Yep. The technology now is so good. It's incredible. So, let's see. 1002 Northeast. Are you touring in Florida soon? Like to come out and meet you. And last question, I promise, will this video be available to listen to again? Thanks again. Yeah, this video will definitely be available for sure. I'll just leave it up here on YouTube after this is done. But yeah, so that'll be available there. And let's see, are you touring in Florida soon? Right now, no plans for Florida. I'm doing a bunch of stuff in the Midwest, and I have to take a look actually at the tour schedule and where we're going. I know Florida is not on the tour schedule right now, but we're doing a bunch of stuff in the Midwest. Doing some casinos in like Michigan, doing some gigs in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, so kind of all over the Midwest. There's a bunch of stuff coming up, so I'm gonna be out like every weekend next month and October, and then going out to Arizona as well. That's right, yeah, out west. Yeah, so just kind of going all over the place. But right now, Florida is not on the plan for right now. But I definitely play Florida a lot. It's a great. I love coming down there. I'd be curious what part of Florida you're from. I've played all over Florida. It's always a great time. I've played in St. Pete, played in Tampa, played in, Daytona, Pensacola, St. Augustine, where else? Panama City Beach, so yeah, I've played all over Florida for sure. But yeah, that definitely would be cool. I'd be happy to meet you for sure, man. That'd be awesome. Definitely. And I'll definitely keep you posted on that for sure. But yeah, folks, if you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys would like to support this channel, check out all my links linked down below in the description box. I offer one-on-one lessons. Everything is shot on a 4K definition camera, pro video and pro audio on these lessons, and I'm teaching people from all over the world now. It's absolutely incredible. And We are having so much fun. So hit me up today at jkm4231@gmail.com. Take your guitar playing, your musicianship to the next level. These lessons are amazing. And what's cool about this system is that there's no freezing up, there's no glitching up, there's none of this crap. It works perfectly well. And what's so cool with these lessons is that you get a recorded copy of the lesson itself. So you could always go back and, download the video, and you could keep rewatching it over and over and over again. And it's all very professional. It's not shot in an iPhone where it's just, shaky video and shaky audio, or this is all very professional. And you're actually seeing and hearing the exact setup that I use for this stuff. So you can hear direct guitar sound. You can hear the SM7B microphone on my voice. It's all a very professional recorded lesson. So you could always go back and rewatch it, and it's just a really good presentation. So for more information, hit me up at jkm4231@gmail.com. Take your guitar playing, your musicianship to the next level. Check out all my links linked down below there as well. There's all kinds of ways you can support this channel. Any and all support is really appreciated. And folks, this live stream is truly a donation of time. So if you guys would like to support me, you could throw a Venmo tip or a PayPal tip jar. That stuff's going to be linked down below in the description box. You can throw a little love in those tip jars, or throw a super chat here on today's live stream. Any and all support is really appreciated. Thank you. Let's see. 1002 Northeast says here, Delray Beach and Juno Beach. Okay. If you need a pad to crash at, use our beach house. Wow, that's awesome. We only use it once a month. Wow, that's incredible. That sounds awesome. Man, I may take you up on that. I could use a beach trip. Damn, it's been a little bit. I was actually down in Pensacola like a month ago. That was pretty fun. Go and see the Blue Angels. They had their show going on down there. Just so happened to be the particular weekend I was down there, which was really cool. And always love Florida, especially in the fall and winter time. It's always nice to get out of Tennessee during that time, especially the winter time. Fall time is pretty nice around here, but the winter time is pretty rough. So I may take you up on that. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Really nice. But yeah, folks. Well, thanks so much for joining up here on today's live stream. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box there. Any question is fair game. The only questions that I try to stay away from are more like advanced guitar concepts or music theory, stuff like this. The way that I approach guitar and the way that I think about it, because I save that for my students. And it just wouldn't be fair to my students because they're hiring me and paying me to teach them. So I don't share any of that stuff for free here on today's live stream. But anything else is fine. I'm happy to answer any and all questions besides those. So feel free to drop it there in the chat box. And let's see, yes. A couple other things I wanted to mention in today's live stream as well, folks. I am selling a Quad Cortex, and it has the SKB case. It has the Chalks power supply, the DC7, with the Chalks Crux power supply. I'm asking $2,000 on that. Shipping only within the U.S. The Quad Cortex is literally in mint condition. I mean, it works perfectly. I'm just selling that, and that's going to be $2,000, only shipping within the U.S. So just add shipping on that. I'm not sure exactly how much that would cost, but I would imagine not really too much. I've actually got it here. Hold on a second. So here it is here, folks. It's all within this SKB case here. Really portable and small SKB case. Just open it up here, and it's all foamed out, ready to go. It's got the plexiglass covering here, which is cool. So, Quad Cortex here, full setup, ready to go. The Chalks power supplies are underneath there. And that's just going to be $2,000 plus shipping on that. Mint condition. I mean, it's just stayed here in my studio, so check that out. If you guys were to be interested, just send me an email, and be happy to ship that out. But there's that there, and then I do have some pedals as well. I've got an 80s Boss VB2 that I'm selling for $500 plus shipping. a Sirocco boost, and I'd be happy to send pictures or whatever you guys need to take a look at this stuff. But an 80s Boss VB2 vibrato pedal, really cool pedal. That's gonna be $500. I have a Sirocco Boost V1 that I'm only asking $150 on plus shipping, and an MXR reverb pedal for $100 plus shipping. Really great reverb, really works well. So if you guys were to be interested in that gear, send me an email, jkm4231@gmail.com. I'd be happy to send you all photos of the gear and stuff, and we could arrange the shipping arrangement and stuff and figure all that stuff out. So. But yeah, folks, so thanks so much for being here. For those that are just joining us here in today's live stream, really do appreciate it as always. Always really look forward to doing these. These are just really fun, and it's a really cool way to check in with everybody and connect with everybody. So really do appreciate all the support on the channel here as of late, folks. The channel is growing. The videos are doing really well. My latest pedalboard video is doing really well, and was really happy with that intro that I played. I had just written that. I just was so inspired by the guitar sound that I just hit record, and I was like, oh man, I need to turn this into an intro here on YouTube. I really love that intro on my latest video. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go and check that out. Got a lot of good comments on that intro. It's a pretty fun one for sure. But yeah, let's see. 1002 Northeast here says, okay, I lied. One more question. Hey, it's all good. Ask away, man. It's all good. No problem. We may be going up to Nashville later this year. Do you give lessons in person? Yeah, we could arrange something like that. That's fine. I could do that. Yeah, just send me an email, just jkm4231@gmail.com. I honestly have to say, though, that the one-on-ones, like the online lessons, and I know that some people can be a little bit hesitant, as I would be as well, because I just don't know like exactly how it would go. But I am telling you, the platform that I use here, it is exactly as if we are sitting right next to each other. I mean, there is no glitching up, there's no freezing up, and it's just really cool because you also get the recorded copy of it, so you could always go back and watch it. I am so happy with this platform, and I really set out to make this thing really incredible. I really want it to be good quality because, I want people to be satisfied, and I want to be satisfied with it. I have to tell you, I am so happy with this system that I've come up with here with doing these one-on-ones. It works incredibly well, and it's literally as if we are sitting right next to each other. I mean, it is that instant. It just works amazing. And again, the audio is amazing. The video is incredible, and you can really see everything and what I'm doing. It's very good lighting, and I absolutely love it. It's not some dodgy iPhone footage or something like this, so it's really presented well, and I really stand behind it. So, once people try it for the first time and they try that first lesson, they're instantly sold on it. That's all it takes, because then they see how good it works. They see how it all goes, and it's just like, wow, okay, this is really amazing, and then they're just hooked on it. So normally my students will do 2 lessons a month. They'll do every other week is normally the way it goes. But I'd be happy to get you some more information, if you want to just send me an email, which actually I think you did, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, it really does work well. But for anybody else out there that is looking for some more information on this, feel free to send me an email. It's a really cool platform, and it's really all about whatever it is that you want to work on. If it's guitar playing, great. If it's something you're struggling with, I'd be happy to help you out there as a player. But if you wanted to talk about the music business, if you wanted to talk about YouTube, literally whatever you guys want to turn this lesson into, this consultation into, we could turn it into. It's totally up to you and whatever you want to do and what you want to get out of it. Now, of course, I teach a lot of concepts that I've developed myself over the years. But that said, these lessons are all about you. So it's whatever that you guys would want to do with these lessons and how and what direction you want to go with it. So that's really what it comes down to. So I'm so happy with it. And literally the setup that you're seeing and hearing right now is the setup that I actually use, the video to the audio. And of course, I am playing guitar within these lessons as well, so you get a direct guitar sound as well. And again, what is just awesome is like, you get the recorded copy of the lesson itself. So instead of it being just an in-person lesson where it's like, you may forget some stuff that I had taught you, or you may kind of forget like, oh, what exactly did he say there about this or whatever. Like with these lessons, you just get a recorded copy of it, so you could always go back and check it out. So it's really, really dialed in. So for those out there that are interested, hit me up at jkm4231@gmail.com. But once again, folks, if you guys feel like you guys got something out of this live stream and you guys, would like to support this channel, check out all my links linked down below in the description box. Feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo and PayPal tip jar. These live streams are truly a donation of time, and any and all support is really appreciated. As I say, this is really a donation of time. I really do this just to connect with everybody here on YouTube and, just to connect with you guys, have a good time. I always look forward to doing these, I really do. But the reality of it is that it is a donation of time. So any and all support is really appreciated there. Check out the links, all linked down below there in the description box. Got a Venmo and PayPal tip jar. I'm a Sweetwater affiliate partner. I gave them my top picks for gear, and I just get a small little commission off the sale. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra. It's just kind of a cool way to support this channel. If you're looking to buy a deluxe reverb reissue, if you're looking to buy a Nobles, if you're looking to buy an Apollo Twin or something like this, just click the link down below, and I just get a small little commission off of it. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra. So go and check that stuff out down below there. Let's see. We got another one here. How long did it take for you to get to a point where you were happy with your picking technique? Man, it came together pretty quickly. I've been playing for a while now at this point. I got started when I was like 9, almost 10. So I'm mainly self-taught, I just practice and practice and practice, and back in those days, I was trying to get into anything I could creatively, any band situation, anything I could do to play with other musicians, just to be in that room, just playing with other musicians, and it's just over time, your technique, it really can be dialed in, it just takes time. There's just other things that are honestly more important than just picking technique. There's a lot of other things which we really focus in on my lessons, and but yeah, when I was learning to play, man, I was trying to get involved with anything I could, any band situation, just playing with other musicians, and I feel that that's kind of something in today's day and age that is very different for a lot of guitar players, because there's a lot of guys that are on social media that, man, there's some great players out there for sure, but it's like they don't play with other musicians, they just play in a bedroom, and you can really hear that in their playing, that they don't really play in bands or with other musicians. And I think that is so important as a guitar player, as a musician in general, to play music with other people, collaborate with other people. It's just so, so important. And it'll really improve your playing. It'll improve your musicianship. It just really improves everything. But playing with other people and collaborating with other people is so important. So that was something for me that it really came together pretty quickly, because I was doing all of that kind of stuff back in those days. So anything I could, man, to get involved with whatever, that's what I was doing. So, and then just practicing by myself, for a while as well. So that was a huge part of it as well. But let's see. Mike says here, thanks for everything. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you being here. Really means the world to me. It's really cool. And I love being able to hear from you guys and get some feedback here on the channel and answer y'all's questions. Always really look forward to doing these live streams, as I've said here on today's live stream a couple times here. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's see. What brand of cable do you like for a guitar to cabinet and then between pedals? So a speaker cable, man, what do I use? The Hosa stuff is cool. That seems to work fine. BTPA makes some good cables as well. BTPA is the name of that company. They're in Chicago area, but they make some really good cables. Who else? What else do I use? The Mogami stuff, of course, I really like a lot. That works really well. And what's cool with the Mogami stuff too is that it is a little bit more expensive, but if anything were to happen to the cable, you can literally just take it into a local Guitar Center or a local shop that carries these cables, and you can actually just take the cable and just walk into the store and be like, hey, this cable's bad, and you can just instantly swap it out. So that's what I really like with the Mogami stuff. So that's the majority of the instrument cables that I use for guitar into a pedal board or into an amplifier. And then for the patch cables themselves on the pedal boards themselves, I use all Mogami cable. There's these little square plugs that they make as well that BTPA has and XTS has here in Nashville that they make these cables with. And they're these little square plugs. And I think the number, the Mogami is like 2319, I believe it is. And it's just very low profile, very thin cabling, so you can really get the pedals real close together. If the inputs and outputs are on the sides of the pedal, you can really get them real close together. So that really works well. And I think the Mogami stuff just sounds really good. Now, the thing is with cabling that you want to watch out for and you want to be careful with is that you don't want to be running too much cable. You know, if you run like 100 feet of cable, it'll really affect your overall guitar sound. You know, the shorter the cable, the better that it does sound. You'll have more top end. If you run a longer guitar cable, like I was just saying, like a 100-foot cable or something like this, you are going to lose top end. So that's in that case, I would try to use like some kind of a buffer. Like if you're running a lot of cable, whether it's like a radial, they make a particular one. It's called the SGI. It's called, where if you're running a lot of cabling, like to an amp that's off stage or something like this, it'll retain the high end. So that's a really essential piece if you're going to be running a lot of cabling to keep your tone intact. But, you know, for the majority of the time, I'm just running a 25-foot cable into the input of the pedal board, 25 feet out of the pedal board into the amplifier, and it sounds great. So it just works. Let's see. I won't name names, but there are some who are technical, but they have nothing to say. If it doesn't sound groovy and have soul, I'm not interested. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, man. Totally. I totally agree. It doesn't mean anything. You know, being that technical and playing a million notes, you know, it's a lot about those right notes, you know, and figuring out, you know, how to really connect with those people. You know, instead of just playing a million notes, play a couple notes that are really meaningful, that really come from deep within, you know, that really, you know, you can really connect with your listener and really connect with your audience. You know, when you play a million notes, a lot of the time it just goes over your head, you know. It's like, okay, it's cool, but it doesn't mean anything, doesn't do anything. So let's see, Mike asks here, what music is playing in your car this week? Oh man, what is playing in my car this week? I'm trying to think. Man, I've been kind of on more of a metal kick as of late. You know, and some heavy rock stuff, you know. There's this band called Fallen in Reverse that they're pretty cool. I like them. I just seen Slash this week, actually. That was pretty cool on Wednesday. That was a cool show. It was with his blues band, so I've been listening to some Slash stuff as well. Just because I've seen him. He played in Franklin here in Tennessee on Wednesday. And it was pretty cool. I actually met a couple YouTube fans. Were fans of mine there at the show, which is pretty cool. But, yeah, Slash was great, man. It was cool. It was with his blues band. And, you know, it was a fun show, man. It was cool. So I was jamming that. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much about it, really. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't... To be honest, man, I listen to so much loud guitar and so much live music in general when I'm playing myself or just out and about, that honestly, when I drive, I normally drive in a silent car. I don't even have music playing at all. I just, you know, drive and I don't even have music playing at all, actually, just because I listen to so much of it. But yeah, so there's that there. But yeah, folks, once again, we got some more people joining up here. Feel free to drop your question there in the chat box. I'd be happy to answer. And absolutely love doing these live streams. Sorry about that. These live streams are just awesome. I really do enjoy it. And for those that are just joining up here in today's live stream, I really do appreciate you being here. And thank you everybody for all the questions, man. I can't believe it's already been an hour here already. It's a lot of talking for sure, but I enjoy it, man. It's fun. Always really look forward to doing these. It's always cool. But yeah, stay tuned, folks. I got a bunch more videos coming out this week. Gonna do some more of those POV videos eventually too when I get back out on the road. I'm going back out in September, so I'll try to get some footage of some of this stuff and post up some of these POV videos so I can take you guys along for the ride out on the road. Let's see. Do you post your Nashville local gigs if people want to go listen to you and a band? Not really. I'm not a big social media guy. I mean, I like YouTube. It's really the only one I'm really active on. But yeah, I don't really post it. I'll just kind of do the gig and just show up and knock it out. But yeah, I don't really post it all too often. To be honest. So let's see. Ash is in the house. Hey Ash, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Hey Justin, I'm that way too. Don't listen to music when I drive. I teach and I'm considering looking into your lessons. Do you have anything that I can look into that goes over what you teach? I don't have anything that's like a video because really the concepts I just keep for the students. I don't even want to mention what I talk about just because I don't want to give it out for free. I understand, from your perspective, you would like to see some stuff. But I'm telling you, every single student's the funniest thing. I just taught a new student, this week, just the other day on Friday. And every single time they take that first lesson, they're just blown away by all the concepts and all the stuff that I teach within these lessons. And it normally just takes that first lesson for them, and then they're just completely hooked. And, they're doing it normally every other week. It depends on the students. Sometimes they'll do once a week, so they'll do 4 lessons a month. But a majority of the time, it's every other week. And, the platform, the concepts that I teach, it's really incredible stuff. And it's very in-depth, and it really makes a lot of sense. And it's presented very well. As I say, I can't say enough good things about it. So normally that first lesson, I'll figure out where you're at. And I've been doing this for so long now that I can instantly assess where you are and where you're struggling. And then I correct that and fix that for you as a player. And what's cool again with these lessons is that you get a recorded copy of it. So you could always go back and be able to, rewatch it, to go through it, and to keep listening back. And that's what's just awesome. Whereas a one-on-one in-person lesson, you may forget some stuff, of what was actually taught there. So let's see another comment here. Not necessarily a video, but to understand what the concepts are. I'm basically a teacher that doesn't have anything to feed my own development. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, just send me an email, jcam4231@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to get you some more information on that for sure. I think it's just better that way. So my email is linked down below there, but it is just jkm4231@gmail.com. And, it really works well. It's, let's see here. I'll just type it up here, actually. Let's see. That there. That's my email. JKM. Not JCam. JKM. Yeah, but it really works well, man, and I'm just so happy with the system. And I really stand behind the quality of this stuff. As I was saying earlier, I'm really a quality snob. And I want this thing to be really good. I don't want it to be half-assed. I don't want it to be an iPhone with shaky video and shaky footage. I think that is just such a middle finger, in my opinion, to the person that is hiring you, that is paying you. I myself want to be satisfied with it, where if I really, for myself, I want to feel good about it, where if I was taking the lesson and I was the student, I would want it to be really good and presented in this way that I actually do it. And I really stand behind it, man. I've got to say, it is just amazing. So a lot of concepts is presented really well, as I've said, and it just works incredibly well. So there's my email there, jkm4231@gmail.com, and hit me up today. Ash says, okay, appreciate it. Thank you, Ash. I really appreciate you. Appreciate the support, and really, really means a lot to me, Let's see, we got 615, the guitar in the house. I can attest that he teaches you how to play guitar. Thank you, 615. Appreciate that. Let's see. Ride to Die says here, cool haircut. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fresh fade. Looking real fly. Let's see. Ash says here, I'm not looking how to play guitar, 615. The quality is exactly what I'm trying to assess. Teaching chops are different than playing chops. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, that is true. I mean, it's, I get a lot of compliments on my teaching, and the thing is that I've been doing this here as a pro musician here in Nashville for the past decade now. So the concepts that I teach are tried and true. It's what I've used. It's how I taught myself. It's what I've learned here in Nashville, and really with the lessons, it's all based upon what you want to get out of it. Now, of course, I'm going to interject and teach you my concepts in the way that I think, but it ultimately is all about you and what you want to get out of it. That's the biggest thing at the end of the day. So it just depends on where you want to go with it. If you want it to be a guitar lesson, we could do that. Or if you want it to be a consultation on the music business, if you want it to be a consultation on your pedal board, whatever the hell that you want it to be is what we can turn this consultation into. So it really just depends, and I think I have a very unique style of the way that I think of this stuff. And, you can see it here on my YouTube channel. I really create these intros where it takes these listeners on a journey, man. It's not just a bunch of noodling, a bunch of random, BS guitar playing. It's really musical. It's really in depth. It really takes the listener on a journey, and that's something for me that I really set out to do on here on YouTube. I wanted to be my own person. I didn't want to just be another face in the crowd. I really wanted to have very in-depth guitar playing, and create something from nothing to really just play solo guitar that really takes the listener on a journey. And I have so many concepts in how I go about doing this and how I think about this stuff. So, of course, I'm going to interject and share with you the way that I think about this stuff. And it's very in-depth, very advanced knowledge and stuff that actually is tried and true and works. So I really stand behind it once again. And, just send me an email, jkm4231@gmail.com for more info on that. Let's see. Ride to Die says here, why did you decide to move to Nashville when you did years ago? Man, so let's see. I mean, I moved here about a decade now at this point. And why did you decide to move to Nashville? So I moved here. I knew one guy that lived here, and he was like, man, you would really crush it here. If you, if you decided to move here, he was like, man, I think you would really do well. And, 10 years ago here, it was a very different time here in Nashville. The cost of living was very affordable here. And, I didn't go to college, so I just am self-taught. And, for me, I wanted to become a professional musician, and so I knew that with the music business, I didn't have any family in the business or anything. As I was saying, I'm mainly self-taught, and I just was like, well, if I want to be in the music business and I want to be a musician, I got to go where the music is, right? I got to go where the work is. So decided to move down here, and I didn't know anybody, because actually what happened was the one guy that I knew, he actually ended up moving to Los Angeles by the time that I got here. So then I moved down here and I didn't know anybody. And so I'm like, oh man, like this kind of sucks, But, I just started going out there, man, and I got really aggressive, and I was just like, well, I got to start meeting people. And, you know, one thing led to another where I would meet one person and they'd be like, hey, you should really meet this guy. And then you should meet this guy, right? And then you just start to build up this network of people. And, I got my first tour when I was like my first month into town. It was a direct support run with Hunter Hayes was my first experience here in town. And then ever since then, man, I've done this full time as a musician, and really for myself as a full-time musician here in Nashville, what that looks like is, a lot of the time you're a hired gun, quote unquote, where, you're brought on to these different gig situations, whether it's with a headliner, if it's with a direct support band, or if it's with a cover band. It's just how it goes here in Nashville as a musician. And, it's a good and a bad thing, right? In that, like, it can be a lot of work, man. And that, like, when you're juggling all of these different artists that you're working with, it's 90-minute set list here, a 90-minute set list there. And I'm not complaining about it whatsoever. I love performing. I love doing it. And that's what is so cool here in Nashville is that there's really no ceiling here. So, and what I mean by this, that there's no ceiling is that, you can play in cover bands if you want to go and do that, where, those gigs can be pretty rough sometimes, but, it is an option where if you need to supplement your income, you need to, get out there and play some gigs. That is an option where if you wanted to go downtown, you could do that. Or if you wanted to go on a direct support run, and go on the road, you could do that as well. Where the gigs are fun, they're really cool. You're opening up for a headlining band and, you're out there playing to a big crowd and it's a lot of fun and it's a cool experience. Or you could go and get on with a headline band, right? It just really depends on what the situation is. And, that's what is really cool with being here in Nashville. I would say really that nowadays it's not really a requirement anymore to really be here, just because of social media and all of this stuff that has come out now. So that's something that even 10 years ago, the social media was nowhere near where it is now. I mean, it's completely taken on a new life. And the technology for this stuff is just incredible. And, I've really learned a lot about doing this stuff, folks. I mean, I wasn't really a big social media guy for a long time. And, I just was like, I would like to give this thing a shot. I'd like to give it a try and just try out this YouTube thing. And I've just been blown away what this has turned into. It's just been incredible. And I have fans from all over the world. I get stopped here all the time locally here in Nashville that people recognize me from the videos. And, I'm teaching people from all over the world. I mean, it's just, it's really incredible what this thing has become. So I'm forever thankful to all the fans out there. And really, really means a lot to me, all y'all's support. And man, it just has been incredible. It's really been an amazing ride. I've been doing this for a little over a year now at this point. And it's just amazing what this has turned into. So, it's really cool. And that's the biggest thing that I would say, just talking a little bit more about the hired gun thing, right, is that with being a hired gun, there's some challenges in that you're just hired on, right? You're hired on to do these gigs where it's just another gig, right? It's another tour. It's another thing, which is very cool and it's a lot of fun. But for you as this hired gun, you don't have any ownership in any of this stuff. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand, is that they think that these guys are actually a part of the band, but they're not. They have no ownership in the songwriting. They have no ownership in literally anything relating to the band or the brand, the business of the band. They are just straight up hired on to perform with this artist, and you are then paid for that gig. And that's just it. That's all the business arrangement is there. And I think that really gets that gets mixed up and confused, by a lot of people, that they think that these guys are actually a part of the band, but they're not. They didn't write any of the songs. They didn't play on the stuff in the studio. They're not doing literally anything. All they're doing is just recreating what somebody else has already recorded and then just performing it live, which is a lot of fun, man. And it's really cool. Don't get me wrong. But, they're not the guys that are actually creating this stuff. They're just recreating it live on stage. That's it. So that's what's really cool with social media or with doing your own music, right? Is that you own that stuff. You own 100% of that. It's your own thing, which is cool. But anyways, just kind of went down a little too far there. But hey, that's cool. Appreciate the question, Right Today. Appreciate it. Let's see. Justin, the basic idea that I'm aiming for is the ability/mentality to be a Nashville session player without any plans on becoming one, just a progression to where if I wanted to, I could. That's awesome. That's really cool. Very cool. Let's see. 1002 Northeast says here, what's your favorite chord progression or a really cool, it looks like your other comments down here, progression you like, could you play for us? Man, there's a lot of really cool chord progressions. I like to change up like usual chord voicings, like a major 7, let's just say, for example. And instead of playing it like the conventional way that the majority of people would play a major 7 chord, finding different ways to rearrange this chord voicing, still using the same intervals and the same notes, but figuring out a different voicing, just a little bit of a different way of playing this major 7 chord, right? Trying to twist the listener's ear and, still using the same kind of usual, like, digestible chords, but just presenting them in a little bit of a different way, So I don't really have a particular favorite chord progression. There's a lot of cool ones that I like, but yeah, right at the top of my head, man, I'd have to get back to you on that. I don't really have a favorite one, really. Let's see. Thanks, Justin. I won't monopolize this discussion. I'll reach out via email. Appreciate it. Just hit me up, jkm4231@gmail.com. We got Eric in the house. Hey, Eric, nice haircut. Looking dapper. Cool. Hey, I appreciate it. Let's see. Andrew's in the house. Hey, Andrew. Hi. How's it going, Andrew? Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Well, looks like folks here have been going for about an hour, 17 minutes here, so I really appreciate everybody being here. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop it there in the chat box. And, if you guys feel like you got something out of today's live stream, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo Tip Jar or the PayPal Tip Jar. I have several links linked down below in the description box in ways that you guys can support this channel. Any and all support is really appreciated. These live streams are truly a donation of time. I truly do this to just connect with everybody here on YouTube, and I really do look forward to doing these. But the unfortunate reality of it is, folks, is that these live streams are truly a donation of time. So any and all support is really appreciated. If you guys want to throw a little love in the Venmo Tip Jar, maybe throw a little love in the PayPal Tip Jar, or sign up for some of my lessons. I offer one-on-one consultations. I'm teaching people from all over the world, and I've talked about it many times here on this channel. But I really am excited about this. I really stand behind the quality of this stuff. It's all shot on a 4K definition camera, pro video, pro audio on these lessons, and you get a recorded copy of the lesson itself at the end of the lesson. So it's just really awesome. I mean, it's an incredible platform. It doesn't freeze up. There's no glitching up. It's very well presented. It's very professional. And I just absolutely love this system. I think it works incredibly well. And, so if you guys were to be interested in that, hit me up, jkm4231@gmail.com. Let's see here. 1002 Northeast here says, enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks so much for your time. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you, and thanks so much for being here. Really means a lot to me, and you do the same. You enjoy the rest of your day, and have fun down in Florida. That sounds fun right about now. Love to spend some time on the beach. Long overdue for that. But yeah, folks, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep going here. Looks like we got some more people joined up here. But, if you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box there. And if you guys were to be interested in that gear, just hit me up at my email. I have this Quad Cortex for sale. I'm asking $2,000 on that plus shipping. It has the Quad Cortex, the SKB I-Series case, and the Chalks DC7 with the Crux power supply. And it's just literally everything that you need to run this Quad Cortex. So $2,000 for the whole setup. It's a really solid deal. and it's in mint condition. It has a plexiglass on the front. It's all completely ready to go. So I'm selling that, and I've just got a couple pedals for sale as well. I've got this 80s Boss VB2 for $500 plus shipping. I've got a Sur Cocoa Boost V1 for $150 plus shipping. And then I've got an MXR Reverb that's $100 plus shipping on that. Only within the US, folks. But yeah, just send me an email and we'll figure out, all the logistics and all the shipping and stuff. So pretty easy there. But yeah, if you guys were to be interested in that, just send off an email there. But if you guys have any other last minute questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box. And once again, folks, if you guys feel like you guys got something out of today's live stream, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar. Any and all support is really appreciated. These live streams are truly a donation of time. So, any and all support is really appreciated. It really helps me out with making these live streams and with these videos in general. And check out my one-on-one online lessons. These are really awesome lessons. I have several links linked down below in the description box. My email is jcam4231@gmail.com. Be happy to get you all some more information on these lessons. They're really awesome. So feel free to send me an email and take your guitar playing, your musicianship to the next level. Hit me up today. I'd be happy to get you down on the schedule. And I think that is really about all for today, folks. I've been going here for about an hour and 21 minutes here, folks, and we had some really great engagement in today's live stream. Really do appreciate all the support, and stay tuned for a bunch more videos coming out here soon. Got a bunch more cool content coming out and some great music coming out, so stay tuned for that. And we will see you all next time here. I'm going to be doing my weekly live stream every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, folks. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be live here on YouTube. As long as I'm here in town and here in Nashville in my studio, I'll be able to do this stuff whenever I'm out on tour. It's normally pretty difficult to make these Sunday live streams work because we're normally traveling back on Sundays. So it's just not doable, unfortunately. There may be some times where I could maybe do it from the hotel room just before we leave, but it's kind of a rare situation. But as long as I'm here in town, here in Nashville, I'm going to be doing this live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So come on back and join us here. This is just one hell of a party, folks. And I absolutely love doing these. So every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be back here live on YouTube. So that's all for today, folks. I really do appreciate it as always. And, if you guys want to support the channel, as I've been saying, there's several links linked down below in the description box there. You can throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar. As I was saying, these live streams are a donation of time. And check out my one-on-one online lessons. Take your guitar playing, your musicianship to the next level. Hit me up at jcam4231@gmail.com. Thank you guys again so much for joining in today's live stream. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next time. Take care.